Hello, everybody. Let's welcome our last speaker for today, Dr. Mohamed Rabie Elsheikh, who is going to talk on the topic Leading the Journey Towards Successful Organizational Transformation. He is the founder and CEO of Tanmyah for management consulting and training with a mission to inspire people and organizations to accelerate growth and achieve excellence. Welcome, Dr. Rabie. The stage is all yours.
Thank you so much. It's my great pleasure to be with you, Rahim, and talking about this very strategic topic at this specific time. Okay, so we'll be talking today about how to be successfully transforming your organization and how to lead your journey of success. Okay, can you have the next slide, please? So it's about me, and I think already Mariana, you have done the presentation and the introduction. So thank you so much. I've been working for more than 27 years in helping organizations, either as consultant or as manager in different organizations, to improve their work and improve their performance. So I've gone through different journeys in transforming organization, either on a small level or the bigger level. Okay, so can we have the next slide, please? So for our agenda for today, I'm talking about what's organizational transformation and why is it important for an organization to go through transformation, and also what are the challenges that organizations go through their transformation process, and how can you get over these barriers, and how can the leaders play a key role in making this happen, and then how can you lead towards achieving excellence and sustainability. Okay, next slide, please. So it's something really interesting to look at what really happens all around us, and say in one moment, in 1 minute, I mean in 2023, what's going on. You can see a lot of transactions happening all around us. 2.4 million Google search, for example, 347,000 tweets, or now it's X, okay, 10.4 million on Instagram or Facebook, 11,000, and so on. So a lot of things happening. Even the emojis we have in 1 minute, around 7 million emojis happening at the same time. So word is being changing and changing rapidly and continuously. So things are not like it was before. So this also makes the organization have to think and act differently. Okay, so can we have the next slide, please? Adding to this, you can put a lot of challenges that are faced by organization. I've picked some of the key things, but actually there are much more things that are facing organization these days. So tough competition, now competition is not local competition or in the local market. Now with everything is open worldwide, so you have very tough competition, especially for big companies that have competitors from all over the world. If you're working online or doing some other stuff, maybe also you are facing a lot of difficulties because you are being competing with different categories of organization. Also customers demands. Customer is demanding much more because now they have the freedom, they have the choice. They can shop from here or go to another organization or deal with this supplier or deal with this vendor. So they have also a lot of choices, plus also their demands. What was accepted before as good service or good product now maybe not be accepted in these days. There's different demands. Customers travel, customers shop worldwide, online, and so on. So their demands are varying and are different from one place to another. Also employees, okay? Before COVID, people used to go to work each day and return back from 9 to 5 or 8 to 4 or 8 to 5. Okay, they have fixed jobs. And when the COVID happens, everyone starts working from home, working online. Now, after COVID, people are reluctant to go back to their normal working hours. They need flexibility. They need work from home. Okay, they need also some freedom. They need to talk. They need their opinion to be heard. Okay, so what are your policies? They are employees friendly, not meeting their needs. They have also their options, so they can go from one organization to another, and so on. So there are a lot of needs for employees in the organization. Also, with all this happening, Everyone's looking for cost reduction. So sometimes due to the inflation or the different world economic conditions and so on, so everyone wants to reduce their costs. So maybe they lay off people, they want to improve their efficiency, improve their processes. So everyone is having very hard and tough time. Also new technologies, you have artificial intelligence, you have a lot of digital things happening, new technologies, and so on. So these are putting a lot of pressure in all organization. Okay, a lot of pressure. Not only these things. Okay, rules, regulations, economic situations, and political situation are all putting a lot of challenges on organization. Okay, so next slide, please. So how can organization respond to these challenges? Okay, how can they act? Okay, with all this pressure. So different organizations started from early days to do different types. So for example, you say that let's do restructuring. Okay, because they are not working well or they have problems, they have a lot of challenges. Let's do restructuring. Or they failed and didn't achieve their profits or their objectives. Say, okay, let's redesign our jobs. Or someone who is visionary or is very ambitious and attracted by the digital digital age and the digital all the technologies. Say I go for digital transformation. I will not do anything manually. I'll do everything digital, do everything online. Also, as we said, people start to look for different models for people working virtually, meeting virtually, online. So you have people part-time, you have people outsourced. So maybe you are in the States and you have outsourced call center in Egypt, India, Jordan, different places all over the world. So with people being supported virtually and online, this means that you are trying to respond to new challenges. Also, we see that each and every time one of the big companies merge with other company or acquire another company, so a lot of merge and acquisition. So this makes your business not as usual. You have to do business in different manner. So merger and acquisition also is putting a lot of pressure on companies. Okay. Also with artificial intelligence and data analytics and big data and so on. So we have now variety and big volume of data that you have to analyze and see customer behavior and people behavior and analyze everything. So organizations are trying to be competitive in the market. And to be competitive, they need to implement different strategies that can make them more competitive and more cost efficient and so on. Okay. So all this put all the companies under a lot of pressure. And to achieve these things, you need to change the way that you are doing your job. It's not the normal business as usual way of doing things. No, you have to change and you have to go for different types of change or transformation. Okay, can we go to the next slide, please? So to transform your organization, okay, then this means that you are in the current status, okay, now, which is like the blue triangle, okay, and then you need to go to required status, which could be the red or the orange triangle, which is upside down. Okay, so where are you now and where you want to go? You have a plan, you have a vision, you have clear objectives. Okay, so people start thinking of how to go to digital transformation or implement new system or acquire new company. What could be the picture that we want in the future? How can we react to this? Where we want to go? Okay, so normally there is a gap between the current status that you are in right now and the future or required status that you want to go or to want to achieve, okay, through your different initiatives. Okay, so this is the gap. Where are you now and where you want to go? Where is the gap exactly? Okay, where is the gap exactly? Is the gap in processes? Is the gap in technology? IT systems? Is the gap in the people themselves, their skills? their attitude, how we deal with customers, our business model. Are we selling face to face or through our shops or selling online? So there's always a gap or challenge. Or we like to take it from the other part, which say that it's an opportunity. There are a lot of opportunities for improvement. Okay, can you just have a click because there's another thing in this slide. Okay, so to achieve this, okay, you need to have strategy, okay, or clear vision and clear objectives. Where are you going? And to achieve this, you have a lot of initiatives that requires the company to do a lot of changes. As you said, maybe you need to automate some process. You need to document some process. You need to get some certifications. You need to follow certain rules and regulation. Maybe you want to go and do something totally different and make the triangle upside down, change the whole company, change the whole business model. Okay, so there is current status and there is required future status. And to go from A to B, right, you need to clear strategy. You need to do some change initiatives to close the gaps that we are facing or uh, opportunities for improvement to meet the requirements. Okay, next slide, please. So this question for you, okay, to go from A to B or from present status to required states, future status. People will go definitely through change, and as we've seen, change initiatives. Okay, so how much you think is the success rate in the change or transformation efforts? Can you tell me in the chat box? How do you think? How much you think success rate for companies to achieve their change efforts or transformation efforts? Is it easy going? Or there are some obstacles? 6%, 30%, 3%. Okay. I think people who already tried to go through different transformation or change initiatives can feel it and I can see it. It's very hard. Okay. So you can get us the numbers. Can you click, please? So I gave you here two surveys, one from McKinsey, okay, and it says the success rate of organizational transformation, again, is low, around 30%, okay. And another article from Harvard Business Review says 22% successfully transform themselves, 78% failure rate. This means failure rates is 70% plus, okay. Again, this is debatable. Yani, if you go through many articles, you find say yes, people say this is the percentages, and be much more maybe. Others say no, it depends on different aspects, as we will see after some time. But again, we don't mean that it's totally failure. But if you don't achieve the objectives that you started to get or to achieve at the end of the day, this means that partially you have not achieved success. And for example, one of the companies I was working with, we tried to implement a new HR system, okay? And the plan was for 9 months. So after 9 months, we implemented like 50%, still stuck. And then extended the project for more 3 months. Still we have problems. And then extended for more 3 months. At the end of the day, after 1 year and a half, we discovered that we achieved around 70% only of what we need. Okay, so what happened? We started with another vendor for another year, and then also not very successful, and so on. So change or transformation in general, okay, is very hard. It's not an easy task. Okay, so the question now, why do you think it's not an easy task? Why do you think change or transformation needs a lot of efforts and so on? Why do you think? What's the main reasons for resistance to change or not being, yes, definitely yes. As you said, it would depend on the industry, market position, technology, and processes, definitely complexity of change and so on. But again, let me know also your opinion, okay? Why do you think there are obstacles to change and all this nice thing? Distance of collaborators to change, technologies, yes. Not involved in the process, yes. Okay, that's very good. Like to stay in the comfort zone, definitely. Yes. People start like to stay in the comfort zone. Yes. Outdated strategies, not investing in people. Yes, we have to attend change. Not enough planning for clarity and purpose of change, not communicated well, unprepared stuff. Yes, all right answers. Okay. Can you have the next slide, please? So why transformation fails? Because there is technical side of change and the human side of change. Can you have the another click? Okay. Why? Because the number one obstacle to successful transformation is resistance to change. So there always change, but change comes with things new. We are in the comfort zone, we are used to do a certain manner and so on. And people are resisting. Okay. So people are main factor for managing successful transformation. Okay, and they can help you be successful or not successful. So what happens? Most people focus on the technical side of change, and we'll see what we mean by this right now. Okay, and we don't put more focus on the human side. Okay, this means if you want to implement a new system, so we're investing in the new system, investing in putting project plan and having coordinators and so on. Okay, but we don't really put that emphasis on getting people involved or ensuring that people are taken care of, involved, trained, communicated, and so on. Can I have the next slide, please? So we always like to keep the balance between the technical part and the human part. So technical part, maybe you have good structure in place, good strategy, good project plan, processes, technologies, systems, and so on. Okay, but you are forgetting the other part, which is the people part, as we say. So to be successfully implementing transformation or change, you need to ensure also that you have clear communication. We'll go into more details right now. You have the leadership, management commitment, motivation, starting with assessing the need for change, get everyone involved, stakeholder involvement, people working, collaborating together, working in teams, training, okay, and so on. So this is very important. Can you have the other slide, please? And also, there is some good research from ProSci, which is one of the biggest organization that caring about change and transformation, a successful organization transformation, say that are main five things for this problem. Number one is lack of executive support and active sponsorship. So we want to implement change, but everyone is busy and managers are busy and no commitment from the top management. So the yes, you want to implement new system or new structure. At the end of the day, they are busy with the numbers, busy with the profits, sales, and so on. Okay. Second thing is about lack of effective communication. So people don't know what's going on, what's happening in the organization, what change, and why we need to do these changes. They don't know what's the status of this project, finished, not finished. So people are wandering in the dark, don't know what's going on. Okay. Also, lack of change buy-in and support created by resistance. Did we get the buy-in from the people who will implement the system, the new system, or implement the new role and so on? People are not committed because you are forcing it on them. So they are not committed. Okay, so they will not do it. Okay. Also, limited knowledge and resources for change management. Okay, I need to be trained. I need to know what's the new system. Okay, yes, maybe the vendor or the supplier comes and give me small training or simple training. Okay, and he left. But I need to understand much more. I have more questions. So people maybe they want to implement the new system, but they don't have good knowledge. Also, you don't have resources for this. Okay, so what are the resources to implement the new system? Or the resources are not qualified enough. Okay, and then the most important part again, the culture and attitude. Are the people willing? They have the willing. The culture is open culture, participative culture, opening for new ideas, or it's closed one. And culture is not accepting any new things. Attitude of the people, are the people willing to change or not willing to change? These are some of the main challenges. Next slide, please. So this also slide is very important and again explain for us some of the key things and shows how much is the importance of the executive or leadership support and sponsorship. You can see in different categories of success of different projects. So the red one, say for the whenever there is the ineffective sponsorship or very ineffective sponsorship, so 29% only success rate, 39% ineffective. Then when you moderately have good sponsorship, it's 57%. And then with the extremely effective sponsorship, it's 70%. This means also to increase the rate of success in different transformation projects, the top management or the executives, leaders need to be there, leading, showing the way, and leading by example. Can I have the next slide, please? Okay, so what you need to do to overcome this resistance to change and achieve successful transformation. It starts with compelling vision. Okay? Do we know where are we going? Do we know what we want to achieve? So something very compelling that can attract people and people can work together and want to achieve it. As you said, support and active sponsorship from all leaders, from all managers need to be there, supporting, asking the state about the status of this project. What happened? Where are the problems? How can we help? And so on. Okay. Then clear objectives and KPIs. You need to have clear objectives. What I really want to achieve for the department, for the whole organization. You have clear measures, key performance indicators to tell you that you are going in the right direction or not. So you need to have clear objectives. So clarity is very big issue, clarity, what we want to achieve, what are our objectives and goals. And then individual KPIs. So it should be linked and aligned with the department and the company KPIs. So I know how much or how my objectives and performance is affecting the whole company. So, and then it becomes part of your values. I will give you an example later about our company. Okay, and then it's part of your hiring and promotion values. Okay, you need people with good attitude, people who are willing to change, flexible to change, and so on. You have clear communication channels, two-way. Okay, two-way from up down and then from down up. You listen to people concerned, you get their feedback about how things are going, how we are doing, and so on. You have education and training. You train people, let them know how can they do their job differently, what are required from them, and so on. Okay. Please involve it in engagement, as we said from the beginning. Okay. People need to say, yes, that's our project. Let's get involved, ask them about their opinion, let them do the process, let them do the investigation, what do you need, and so on. So they are engaged through communication throughout the whole project. And then you have rewards and recognition. So people who implement the new systems and implementing the new strategies and the new processes, okay, are rewarded and recognized. So say this is a good example. So if you do the right things, okay, then you'll be rewarded and get recognized. Okay. Through success stories of people who are implementing the new systems or things that you wanted to happen, you build the culture of innovation, support, participation, and so on. So the most important thing is to share success stories and have good examples. Okay. And last but not least, you think from people point of view. What's in it for me? This is one of the golden rules of managing change and transformation. Me as an individual, what will be my gain, what I will gain from this project? Okay, I'm getting more experience, I'll be certified, I'll get more exposure, I get more training, career development, and so on. So we think win-win. So for the organization to transform, people need to transform as well. we need to gain. So it's win-win relationship. Next slide, please. Okay. So very simple equation. Very simple equation. To achieve success in your transformation efforts, then what you need to do, can you have one click, please? Please again, go again, go back. One click back. Say that, no. Okay. There are motivations and there are barriers. So when the motivations are larger than the barriers, okay, then we achieve success. Okay, so motivation should be more than the barriers so that you can achieve success. Okay, so it's like every one of us. I need to stop smoking, for example. Okay, but what are my motivations? No, I like smoking, like being my comfort zone, and so on. So I have to have motivations. Motivations to something that I'm afraid of, or something that is pushing me or motivating me. Then I can achieve success. So one of the most important things that you ask yourself, to assess your readiness to change. So are you ready? Your department, your people ready to change or not? So you can do this before you start. Next slide, please. I'll talk about my company that worked in for 7 years. Zain Telecom's experience. We had a compelling vision. It's a telecom company in Kuwait, and they have started from Kuwait and want to be worldwide global operation, telecom operation. Okay, and in 4 years, in 3 years, three by three by three, that will be global operation in 9 years. So 3 years locally, 3 years regionally, 3 years internationally. So we have started with compelling vision, and in 4 years or 5 years, we had 25 companies under our umbrella. Okay, so we say that we are making history. We're having the dream, okay, to make this big company. Okay, and then in Bahrain, we have an operator, okay, where we started from scratch. Okay? And we have all young people that are very motivated. And in 2 years' time, we started replacing the management that came just in the startup. Okay, so this is one of the good examples. Next slide, please. Okay, in Zain we have brand values. Okay, it's called radiance, heart, and belonging. Okay, I will tell you more about them right now. Okay, and mindset of the people to be first, be different, be daring. So these were our messages to our people, always giving them these messages. Need to be first, to be different, be daring, and we need to apply our values. Okay, next slide, please. So in Radiance, okay, say we do some workshops with the employees, okay, say for them, reflect on this. How can we exhibit readiness, okay, radiance? And we explain the word radiance. What does radiance mean? And heart, okay? Can we exhibit heart in our work, okay? We do workshops. How this can be reflected on the customers as well, okay? Also belonging. How can we show them that we belong to our work, belong to Zain, okay? And we call Zainer. And everyone needs to understand these values. And these values were then reflected into people KPIs, into people performance appraisal, when hiring new people, when training, when development, and everything. Okay, so this is one of the examples of building the culture that is supportive to change and transformation. Next slide, please. Okay, and also we had something very interesting called 5Fs. Okay, under Zain HR. Okay, for people working in Zain, we have 5Fs. You have to have bright future. You have freedom in your work that you are working in. We need you to have fortune, to be rich. Okay, so we have stock for our employees, started this new plan. Need people to have fun, to enjoy their time at work, and they feel that they are part of a big family. So everything again we're trying to ensure that everyone working in Zain is trying to implement the 5Fs in their work. It's reflected our policies, procedures. We have to change everything and think that we are really meeting these requirements. Okay. So next slide, please. Again, we asked ourselves what type of culture we need to create. Okay. So we said that it's innovative culture, open one, no closed doors, to build trust with our employees, supportive, motivating, positive, and productive. So we have planned that this is the type of culture we wanted to implement. Okay, and why we're talking about the leaders, because who shape the company culture? It's mainly the leaders of this organization. They shape the company culture. So we put this as our values or our type of culture, and also ensure that our policies, procedures, the way of dealing with each other support this. So one of the examples, for example, that we don't call anyone subordinate. Okay, we call people as colleagues. So the word subordinate was prohibited to be used in Zain. We are all colleagues, one team, one family. Okay, next slide, please. I give you also here another example from a company called Zappos. That's like Amazon. Okay, say that their CEO say people may not remember exactly what you did or what you said, but they will always remember how you made them feel. So it's not about only about work, doing your job or not, but again about looking for their feelings, their emotions. So good companies or great companies right now who are very good in transformation, they look for people emotions. So creating great employees experience. Because if you're serving customers, you need to make your people happy first to make happy and satisfied customers at the end. Okay, next slide, please. So some questions every leader should ask themselves. Again, are my daily interactions and conversation with staff conducted in a respectful and supportive manner? Again, respect and support. What gets my attention when employees make mistakes or when they do well? So where I'm focusing on the positive side, catching mistakes, or supporting and empowering. How do I react to critical incidents? I get angry, get mad, or have to think about it. How do I communicate? Okay, do I communicate? I know some managers that the whole day sitting in their offices, they don't interact with their people and they don't do performance appraisal. Or maybe they meet their employees only in the performance appraisal meeting. Okay, again, how frequent? What are the challenges you are using? Everything formal, informal? What type of work environment you're creating? Where is your focus? Reward or punish? Okay, do you create trusting work environment? Where is trust? Do people trust you as a leader or not? Do you consider yourself as a role model? Again, for healthy living, work-life balance, role model. So it's about leading by example, not saying very nice words or nice slogans and you're not implementing. No, this is one of the main things. Leaders need to be a role model, lead by example. Next slide, please. So again, how can leaders build transformational culture and be successful for the transformation? I give you 10 things quickly. Lead by example, as we said, be a role model. Put compelling vision. Okay, you need something that to attract people, making history, new thing, very compelling, very ambitious. Open communication between you and your team, your colleagues, the whole company, two-way or all 360. Empower employees, get them some empowerment, give them some authorities. Okay, invest in learning and development. So whenever a crisis happens, what happened in most companies, they cut training. Almost no training. Or they say, we'll train the people and they will leave. Okay, but what happens if they stay and they are not trained, not skilled? Recognize and reward change champions. Okay, these are the role model for you. These are the examples. So you have to reward them and make the people feel that yes, this is the right or good example. Set clear expectations, clarity. What I need from you. What are my expectations from you? Okay, and then can we measure it or we cannot measure it? To see where are meeting, who's meeting, not meeting. Promote cross-functional collaboration. So again, are we working as one team? Either in our department or different departments or what's going on. So encourage people to work together, provide support, provide resources, okay? So financial resources, financial support, or different types of equipment or machines or tools and so on, and then measuring. If you cannot measure it, you cannot manage it, you cannot control it. So measurement is very important. Everyone needs to see the progress. Where are we? How did we achieve our targets or not? And then celebrating. We need people to feel that we celebrate the achievements, the progress, and so on. Next slide, please. So how to start and where start. It's very confusing. Maybe we talk very nicely about it, but where to start and where to start. Another question, next slide, please. Again, is shall we go for whole big transformation in the organization or go for incremental step by step? Here, I like the Pareto principle, which is 80-20 rule. That 20% of the effort give you 80% of the results. So don't get involved in big transformation. Sometimes people are overwhelmed with the number of things that need to do. Total restructuring or revamping the whole process. People cannot do like this. So where you need to focus, identify your priorities, and then do pilot implementation in certain section or certain department or certain project, and then learn from mistakes, and then build in your success stories. Build, and then recognize people for their achievements. Okay, next slide, please. Also, this slide is very important because I came from quality and excellence background, process background. So I like this plan, do, check, act cycle, which comes from the people working in the quality, Six Sigma, ISO, and so on, excellence framework. Say, put plan, identify your objectives, identify your KPIs, and then start the implementation. Okay, and then you have checks, KPIs. What did you achieve? Are you achieving the target? Not achieving the target? What's going right? What's going wrong? What's going wrong? Let's learn and take corrective action. What's going right? We thank people. We recognize them for their achievements and reward them for their achievements. So it's continuous cycle. Plan, do, check, act. Plan, do, check, act. So it's very important. Next slide will be also very important for us. Go step by step. Okay, so we started the plan, do, check, act cycle, and then we learn, we go success story. So we make new standards. Okay, so we learn, okay, incrementally. So I always recommend for people to go into incremental transformation and let the people be involved. And step by step, we standardize. Each step we achieve success, we put standards for new success stories, and then we learn from mistakes and so on. So it's plan, do, check, act cycle, continuous improvement. Okay, next slide, please. So at the end, we say that it's continuous improvement. The journey to excellence and sustainability has no end. Transformation is not one-time project, or you do it once and khalas, thank you, we have finished, we are done, we achieved the certification and so on. People can get their active sponsorship from leaders for one project for certain time, and then people leave, or leaders are not focusing. No, say that transformation is now, change is the only constant right now. So transformation is going on daily basis. Is everything going around us. So it says that the journey to excellence and sustainability has no end. It's a continuous process, and we have always to learn and create success stories and anchor all this, what we learned in our culture, and make it culture open for excellence. Okay, next slide. I think I'm done by now. So I want to make a quick presentation because I had a lot of information, and hopefully it was a good one. Please, if you have any questions. Thank you so much. I highly appreciate it, and I hopefully it was a good eye-opener for leading change and leading transformation. So thank you so much for this, Mariana.
Do we have any audience questions? Okay, I see one question.
So as I said, it's continuous learning. We always learned. Yes. How much time can it take to make change permanent? Actually, it's a very good question because it differs from one organization to another. Okay, we said that change is only constant, so it's always changing. But normally in small organization, it's take from 1 to 2 years to feel that change has happened and has achieved the objectives. And from larger organization, from 2 to 3 years and maybe more to see that, yes, that's why we are saying go for pilot implementation. Go for small projects, step by step, so that you can learn and build on your success. But if you say for 1 year, for example, trying to implement a new system and people don't see the results, people get bored. That's why we say that you start small, step by step, incremental projects. Okay. And again, start with the places where you have people with the good attitude. Something that I always say, when selecting people, hire for attitude and train for skills. Hire for attitude, train for skills. Get people with good attitude, flexibility to change, and good communicators, good people that like to work together, work in teams, and teach them, let them work, okay? Especially in the top management. When you are selecting people in the top management, they can make or destroy the whole organization, because top management or the leaders are responsible for their teams and for creating the right culture and putting the right culture in place. So be careful on who are you promoting and who are you selecting for leadership position, because they are the people who are helping you to achieve your success and be successful in transforming the organization. So any more questions? Maybe also I can send you maybe 2 or 3 articles to Mariana, and then you can share with the group. Okay.
You can share it with me, and then I can share.
And I'll be happy to connect with you definitely with my connections.
We have another question. What if the top management refuse changes because they enjoy their old management style? What do we do at this point?
It depends who are you and at this point. If you are working as an employee, you don't have good chances. But if you are in the higher level, then you can have some chances. But again, I will tell you a very nice story. Why people change or why people transform. As we said, if motivations are high or their sense of urgency, as things that John Cotter has said, okay, then people will start to change. Otherwise, they're in the comfort zone. So if you are in good company and you are achieving profits or doing very well, so you don't have any motivation. But this happened in one of our companies that under the Zain umbrella, again, that everything was okay, but 1 year they didn't achieve the targets. So what happened? Our group CEO decided not to give them a bonus for this year. So this was like a big issue for them. Okay. So people start thinking, why we didn't get the bonus? We need the bonus. See, we have to change. Okay. Then we go to them and we review the structure, the process, and so on. So I've been for 3 years trying to change the structure, the process, but people were reluctant to change. So people need to get motive to make them change. You need to put them something to change. So again, Zain, why they think about this way? Because they were the only company, dominant company, only telecom company, everything is okay. Until one competitor comes, and in 1 year, they take 30% of the market share. Profit was reduced. So you need something to ignite the fire, as you say, or create sense of urgency. So if you don't have it, if you are a leader, you have to create it. Otherwise, it will be a bit hard for you to do some changes.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Rabie, for the great session today. For all HR and people ops professionals, this was quite an eye-opener on how transformation really works. It was such a pleasure listening to you speak on the topic, leading the journey towards successful organizational transformation. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you so much. My pleasure, and wishing you all the best and looking forward to connect with you. Thank you.
So this brings us to an end to day 1 of the People Ops Pulse 2023 conference. We have 2 more days of learnings and exposure to great knowledge from our incredible speaker lineups tomorrow. On day 2, our topics are designing HR technology, hyperconvergence for the workforce of the future, how to have impactful and managed and meaningful coaching conversations, and what is needed from people ops to support organizational agility. The first session starts at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you all once again for making our day one so successful. With lots of gratitude, I'm Mariana, your host, will be signing off for today. See you all tomorrow. Good night.
Thank you.